So students, this is where we had stopped in our last class, if you remember. Y equal to I f naught omega zm e to the power minus omega t e to the power I omega t minus phi. Now when the driving force, as you know, is given by f naught e to the power I omega t. So this is equal to f naught cos omega t plus I sine omega t. So it has its real part as well as its imaginary part, whereas the displacement also has its real part as well as its imaginary part. So if you write the displacement y over here as equal to minus I f naught by omega zm, okay, into cos of omega t minus phi, okay, all right, plus I sine of omega t minus phi. If you write it in this manner, then what do we get? Which one will be your imaginary term and which one will be your real term? If you just simplify, you will see what you write over here is f naught by omega zm, okay, I minus I cos of omega t minus phi, and then minus I square means plus, okay, sine of, okay, omega t minus phi. So which one is your real term here? You see, this is your real term and this is your imaginary term. So you will equate the imaginary term to the imaginary term over here and the real term to the real term over here for the externally applied periodic force, okay. So you see, if you take the real part, what is the real part over here of the driving force? The real part is y equal to f naught by omega zm, okay, sine of omega t minus phi, okay, all right. So this is the real part. Now this part you can write as equal to f naught by omega zm, okay, f naught by omega zm. And if you would just convert this to cos, what do you get? Put your third bracket, cos of, okay, well, cos of omega t minus of, you can write this as phi plus pi by 2, phi plus pi by 2, you can write it in this manner. This is equal to this, isn't it? So what can you say over here? Therefore you can say that, you see, you can say that, well, your f naught, because you are taking the real part of the driving force, f naught is equal to what? The real part is the cos omega t. So if you just compare f equal to f naught cos of omega t of the driving force to the real part of what you have written just now of y equal to f naught by omega zm cos of, okay, omega t minus phi plus pi by 2. If you just compare these two equations, then what do you get? We find that the total phase difference between the displacement y and the applied force F is what? How much? You see, it is minus of phi plus pi by 2. So total phase difference between y and F is minus of phi plus pi by 2. Okay, and what is the amplitude? The amplitude, as you see over here, the amplitude is F0 by Zm. The amplitude is F0 by omega Zm. This is the amplitude. Okay, so the total phase difference between these two is this, between y and F. There is a phase difference of phi plus pi by 2 with the displacement having an amplitude of F0 by omega Zm. Try with this is the real component with which you have tried. Try with imaginary component. Imaginary component. You will see that the same thing is happening. If you try with the imaginary component, you will see that the same thing, that a difference of minus phi plus pi by 2 is there between y and F. Okay, so in both the cases we find that the driven oscillator is always behind the driving force in phase. Okay, so if you compare the phase, what can you conclude therefore in words? What can you say? That the driven oscillator is behind the driving force by this much amount. Why? It is because of this negative sign. Alright, now suppose we discuss the behavior of the displacement versus driving force frequency in case of a forced oscillator, and if we show that the displacement at low frequency is independent of frequency, the resonant frequency of the driving force is slightly less than the natural frequency of the oscillator, and the maximum amplitude A max is dependent on the damping constant R. So in our forthcoming discussion, these are the three things that we are going to discuss. Okay, so well, we can write now that y is equal to, if we take the real part, y is equal to F0 by omega Zm sine of omega t minus phi. Okay, so Zm is the mechanical impedance. So what can we say about Zm over here? Zm is equal to square root of R square plus m omega minus s by omega whole square. You can say that about Zm. And as you have seen before, and what can you say about tan phi? Well, tan phi is equal to omega m minus s by omega divided by R. Okay, what is R? R is the damping constant, m is the mass, and s is the stiffness or spring constant of the oscillator. Okay, so now suppose we substitute 2k equal to R by m and omega 0 square equal to s by m. What do we get for Zm? Zm is equal to, then you will see, if you just make the substitution, you will see it is equal to, put it, okay, so R is equal to 2km, R square is equal to 4k square m square. Okay, if you bring out the m by omega factor, so I'm not doing step by step. You just try it out. Otherwise, you see already 10 minutes have gone. I want to stop. So m by omega 4k square omega square plus omega square minus omega 0 square whole square. Okay, if you just do this substitution over here, you can arrive at this result. Okay, what is omega 0? Omega 0 is the natural frequency of the oscillator. Okay, and omega is the frequency of the forced oscillation, of the externally driven periodic force. So y you can write down y over here as y will be equal to F0, what we have written, if you remember, omega, this is Zm, omega into m by omega. So this actually you might get it in your book also. So those proofs are there in the books. So if you find my proof easier, you can do it, or else you do which one you find easiest. Plus omega square minus omega 0 square whole square sine of omega t minus phi. Okay, all right, and this you can further simplify into, well, this you can further write as, this can be further written as F0, okay, sine of omega t minus phi, I'll tell you what small f0 is, divided by square root of, okay, 4k square omega square plus omega square minus omega 0 square whole square. Okay, where okay, let me put it in the next page. All right, where your f0, small f0 is actually, your small f0 is actually equal to capital F0 by m. Okay, and here also, as you know, tan phi is equal to omega m minus s by m divided by r. So if you just try for tan phi, you will see that your tan phi, if you just try it out, you will see tan phi is equal to, well, omega square minus omega 0 square by 2k omega. Okay, so now what you do, you write your amplitude, the displacement amplitude A, as equal to F0 divided by square root of 4k square omega square plus omega square minus omega 0 square whole square. This is very important for the coming discussion, this proof. So all of you try this out, because in the middle I have not gone through all trigonometrical steps. All right, because they are simple, easy trigonometry and you can do it out yourself. So just arrive at this result, because our subsequent discussion now for this class will be based on this result. Is that okay? The amplitude of the oscillation. The simplified version of the amplitude of the oscillation. This is important. Fine? Let's stop.